Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually thought about how much you're spending on gas? Not just at the pump in the moment, but over a whole year. Because if you're driving an average American car, covering around 15,000 miles a year, you're probably spending somewhere between $1,500 and $2,500 annually just on fuel. That's real money. And here's the thing. A chunk of that is almost certainly being wasted. Not because your car is broken, not because gas prices are crazy, but because of a handful of driving and maintenance habits that are quietly draining your tank every single day. And today, we're going to fix that. I've spent time going through data from the US Department of Energy, the EPA, Consumer Reports, and Oak Ridge National Laboratory, which is one of the country's top automotive research institutions. No gimmicks, no miracle additives, just the stuff that's actually been tested and actually works. By the end of this video, you'll have 5 specific, actionable changes you can make. Some of them today, some of them this weekend, that can realistically add up to saving hundreds of dollars a year at the pump. Let's get into it. Tip number 1. How you drive is your single biggest fuel lever, and most people have no idea. This one sounds almost too simple, but the data behind it is striking. The US Department of Energy's own fueleconomy.gov website, which pulls from real-world testing, states that aggressive driving habits like speeding, rapid acceleration, and hard braking can lower your gas mileage by somewhere between 15 and 30% on the highway, and between 10 and 40% in stop-and-go city traffic. That's not a small number. That's a massive swing. Think about what that means in real dollars. Say you're spending $2,000 a year on gas. If your driving style is on the aggressive end, you accelerate hard from lights, you ride up close behind cars and brake late, you cruise at 80 on the highway, you could be burning 20% more fuel than you need to. That's $400 a year, straight into the air. And you didn't even notice, because it happens one trip at a time. So what does better driving actually look like in practice? It's not about driving slowly or being the person everyone honks at. It's about anticipating. When you see a red light ahead, you ease off the gas earlier instead of accelerating toward it and then braking hard. On the highway, you give yourself enough following distance that you're not constantly accelerating and decelerating with traffic. You let the car's momentum work for you. Think of it like carrying a full cup of coffee on the passenger seat. You're not crawling, you're just smooth. Speed is another massive factor. Consumer Reports ran real-world tests in a Nissan Altima and a Toyota RAV4 at different highway speeds. Dropping from 65 miles per hour down to 55 miles per hour improved fuel economy by 6 to 8 miles per gallon in those cars. Going the other direction, from 65 up to 75, cost them nearly 6 to 7 miles per gallon. Once you're above 50 miles per hour, aerodynamic drag starts increasing dramatically, and your engine works harder to push your car through the air. The physics don't lie, and here's something most people don't think about: cruise control. If you're on the highway and you're not using cruise control, you're almost certainly varying your speed by 3 to 5 miles per hour without realizing it. Your foot unconsciously accelerates and backs off constantly. Cruise control holds a perfectly steady speed, which is almost always more efficient than a human foot. Use it. If you drive aggressively and you change nothing else from this video, just that you could realistically see a double-digit improvement in your fuel economy. That's the single highest impact thing on this list. Tip number 2. Your tires are probably costing you money right now, and you haven't checked them in months. Here's a fact from an Oak Ridge National Laboratory study, cited directly by the Department of Energy. For every 1 psi drop in pressure across all 4 tires, your fuel economy drops by about 0.3%. That might not sound like much in isolation. But here's the catch. Tires naturally lose about 1 psi per month. And most people check their tire pressure approximately never. The DOE's own research found that a car with all 4 tires running at 75% of their recommended pressure, which is honestly not that unusual, suffers a fuel economy penalty of about 2 to 3% consistently. Underinflate them more severely, and that penalty climbs to 5 to 10%. And the DOE has estimated that across all American vehicles on the road, incorrectly inflated tires waste about 3.56 million gallons of gas every single day. That's a staggering number. So what do? First, find your car's recommended tire pressure. This is not the number printed on the side of the tire, that's the maximum pressure the tire can hold, not the pressure your car is designed to run at. The right number is on a sticker inside your driver's side door jamb, or in your owner's manual. On most passenger cars, it's somewhere between 32 and 36 psi. Get a tire pressure gauge, they're about $8 at any auto parts store, and check your tires when they're cold, meaning before you've driven on them. First thing in the morning is ideal. If they're low, most gas stations have air machines, and a lot of them are free. This whole process takes about 5 minutes. Do this once a month. Put it in your phone as a recurring reminder. It costs you nothing, and it quietly saves you money every single mile you drive. It also extends the life of your tires. Underinflated tires wear unevenly and wear out faster, which is another hidden cost most people don't connect to something as simple as air pressure. Tip number 3. You're probably paying for premium gas when you don't need to. This one might be the most directly money-saving tip in the whole video. Because it's not about optimizing, it's about stopping an unnecessary expense. Walk into any gas station and you'll see 3 grades: regular, mid-grade, and premium. Premium typically costs 30 to 50 cents more per gallon. If you're filling up once a week, that adds up to $150 to $250 extra per year. And a huge number of drivers are paying that premium unnecessarily. Here's how this works. Premium gasoline has a higher octane rating, usually 91 or 93 versus 87 for regular. Higher octane fuel resists knocking, which is a kind of premature ignition that can damage engines. High-performance engines with high compression ratios genuinely need it, but most engines don't. Consumer Reports tested this directly. For cars where premium is listed as recommended, not required, they found no significant improvement in performance or fuel economy from using it. The key word is required versus recommended. Check your gas cap door or your owner's manual. If it says premium required, use premium. If it says premium recommended, you can run regular without hurting your engine. Modern cars have knock sensors that automatically adjust engine timing to handle lower octane fuel. You will not damage your car. If you're driving a regular family sedan, a crossover, or a truck, and you've been using premium out of habit or because you thought it was better for your engine, stop. Switch to regular. You'll save real money and your engine will be just fine. Tip number 4. Get the junk out of your car and take down your roof rack. This one sounds almost comedic, but there's actual engineering data behind it, and it's something almost every driver is guilty of. The Department of Energy states that every extra 100 pounds in your vehicle reduces your MPG by about 1%. That sounds small, but think about what's actually in your car right now. A set of jumper cables, a bag of sand from last winter, golf clubs, sports gear, a stroller. Lots of people are carrying around 50 to 150 extra pounds of stuff they haven't touched in months. Over a full year of driving, that's costing you money. Now, the bigger one. Roof racks and cargo carriers. This is where the numbers get serious. fueleconomy.gov and DOE testing found that a large, blunt rooftop cargo box reduces fuel economy by around 2 to 8% in city driving, 6 to 17% on the highway, and 10 to 25% at interstate speeds between 65 and 75 miles per hour. Why? Because at highway speeds, more than half of your engine's power is going toward overcoming aerodynamic drag. Anything on your roof is like putting a sail on your car facing backward. You are fighting the air. Consumer Reports did their own real-world testing on this. Carrying 2 bikes on a roof-mounted rack was one of the highest penalty configurations they tested. If you have a ski rack, a cargo box, or a bike rack on your roof and you're not actively using it, take it off. Storing it takes 10 minutes. And at interstate speeds, you could be improving your fuel economy by 10% or more just by removing it. Rear-mounted cargo trays and hitch racks are much better aerodynamically. The DOE found they only reduce fuel economy by 1 to 5% on the highway, versus 10 to 25% for rooftop boxes at speed. So, if you need to haul gear regularly, a hitch-mounted option is a smarter choice for fuel economy than anything on the roof. Tip number 5. Smart maintenance, but not all of it matters equally. This is where I want to push back a little on conventional wisdom. Because there's a lot of advice floating around about car maintenance and fuel economy that isn't actually supported by data. Let's sort out what actually moves the needle. Motor oil grade. This one is real and underappreciated. The DOE says using the manufacturer-recommended grade of motor oil can improve your gas mileage by 1 to 2%. Using the wrong grade goes the other way, so check your owner's manual. If it says 5W20, use 5W20. Look for oil with the energy-conserving label on the API certification symbol. That means it contains friction-reducing additives that help your engine run more efficiently. Air filters. Here's an interesting one. The DOE actually clarifies this on fueleconomy.gov. Because the old conventional wisdom said replacing a clogged air filter improved fuel economy. For modern cars with fuel-injected, computer-controlled engines, which is basically every car made since the early 1980s, replacing a clogged air filter does not improve fuel economy. What it does improve is acceleration performance by around 6 to 11%. So yes, keep your air filter clean. But don't expect it to show up at the pump. Spark plugs, worn or misfiring spark plugs, do affect combustion efficiency and can hurt fuel economy. This is worth staying on top of. But most modern iridium or platinum spark plugs last 60,000 to 100,000 miles. Check your owner's manual for the recommended interval. The bottom line on maintenance. Stick to your manufacturer's schedule. Use the right oil, and don't ignore warning lights. Your car is designed to run efficiently when it's properly maintained. The big fuel economy gains aren't usually in the shop. They're in the driver's seat and at the air pump. Now, let's put this all together, because the combination is where it gets really interesting. Let's say you're an average driver spending $2,000 a year on fuel. You smooth out your driving style and cut aggressive habits. That alone could realistically save you 15 to 20%, which is $300 to $400. You start keeping your tires properly inflated. Add another 2 to 3%, or $40 to $60. You switch from premium to regular. If your car only recommends it, another $150 to $250. You clean out the trunk and pull the ski rack off your car. Maybe another 3 to 5%, so another $60 to $100. And you use the right motor oil, another 1 to 2%. Add that up conservatively and you're looking at somewhere between $550 and $800 saved per year. Not from a magic product. Not from some secret additive. From 5 changes that are either free or cost almost nothing. Now, individual results vary. Your specific car, your commute, how much city versus highway you drive. All of that affects the actual numbers. But these aren't estimates I made up. Every number I've cited in this video comes from the US Department of Energy, the EPA, Oak Ridge National Laboratory, or Consumer Reports. These are real measurements from real tests on real cars. Before you go, let me leave you with 2 quick bonus reminders that take 30 seconds each. First, check fueleconomy.gov. It's a free government website where you can look up the official EPA fuel economy ratings for your specific car, or any car you're thinking of buying. You can also find the exact tire pressure and oil grade recommended for your vehicle right there. It's genuinely one of the most useful free resources for car owners, and most people have no idea it exists. Second, if your car has an Eco Mode button, use it. Most cars with this feature added in the last decade have it as a simple button press. It typically adjusts throttle response and sometimes transmission shift points to favor efficiency over performance. For everyday commuting, there's almost no downside to having it on. That's our 5 tips. Smooth out your driving. Keep your tires inflated. Stop paying for premium if you don't need it. Remove unnecessary weight and cargo accessories. And use the right motor oil. These work. The data backs them up. And none of them require you to spend much money or change your life dramatically. If this was helpful, hit the like button. It genuinely helps other drivers find this kind of content. And subscribe if you want more evidence-based car and driving content. No hype, no mystery additives. Just the stuff that actually works. Backed by sources you can go verify yourself. I'll see you in the next one.